Okay, real quick, I'm going to show you how I streamline communication, because when you're a coach, you don't want to be repeating the same thing over and over again. It's good to become efficient with your time, and luckily there's some really simple online resources that are all free that I'm going to walk you through and just kind of show you how I use them, as well as some other people on our team. And you'll see your different options. And I think hopefully you'll see that it can be really easy to integrate your conversations and your challenge groups and your social media, and it doesn't have to feel so overwhelming. So the first thing that I will say is, as a coach, you need a professional email. I don't mean you have to pay for your own website domain. I just mean, like, if your email is still sweetp1987 at hotmail.com, like, you need something a little bit different, right? So I would suggest creating an email for your business that's different than your personal email, that's not getting, Gap ads or like random spam to it, but that is a business email. I like Gmail the best. A lot of what I'm going to show you integrates with Gmail, so I think it's really smart to create a Gmail. And you could make it a little bit more professional by doing, like, I could do ashley.healthyliving@gmail.com, right? Or ashley.gibson@gmail.com. That's probably not available, so I might do ashley.fitmomnextdoor@gmail.com. That might be too long, but something that sounds professional and isn't your same email from high school. Now, the other thing is, when you go into Gmail, it has a lot of really cool features that make life simple, and they're all free. So I'm going to screen share here. This was stuff that we just covered on a team call, but my computer died right as I was ending the Zoom, and I don't think that it saved the recording, which is a big bummer. But here we go. So I'm in my Gmail account. There is an option in Gmail to, like, own your own email handle. You pay a couple of dollars a month. So, like, mine is ashley@ashleygibsonfitness.com. I like when coaches keep their email personal, though, so like ashleygibson@gmail.com, because when an email is coming in from something that you can tell is a personal email inbox, it's more likely to get into that person's inbox folder rather than their spam folder, right? So if you're getting an email from ashleygibson.com, it might look like a sales ad or soliciting. So depending on who your email provider is, it might filter that into spam. So you want to make sure that your emails that you're sending are getting into people's inbox. Personally, I think Gmail is the best way to do that. Now, once I'm in here, you have two really cool options for kind of generating generic responses to things, because you're going to find a lot of the same questions come up. Like, what is a challenge group? How do I convert my customer account to a coach account? What is a free Beachbody On Demand trial? Like, anything that you can think of that comes up quite often, you can turn into either a snippet or a canned response. And I'm going to show you both of them. Luckily, you're on a team that provides you tons of canned responses for everything under the sun. So Snippets is an extension of Gmail. It's created by Gmail. It's free. You would just download. Actually, it's called Streak. The program is called Streak. If you just Google the word Streak for Gmail, you could download that and enable it on your Google email inbox. So with Streak, there are a couple cool features. The first is that Streak allows you to see when somebody has opened an email. I think you guys can see my screen. So, like, this little icon, like, I replied to Tyler earlier today. This little eyeball is not lit up green, so I know he has not seen that message yet. Where down here, like, I replied to Sandra, I know she saw it. And the benefit of that is, if you're talking to someone about a challenge group or anything that requires a response, you can say, hey, I saw you saw my email, or I saw you got my email. What questions did you have? Or what did you think about that? So it takes away the wondering if someone opened the email, because you get that green eyeball icon, which I think is really cool. The second cool feature about Streak is you can schedule your emails out. So, for example, I really think it's important when you have a customer order Shakeology or a challenge pack that you kind of educate them on Shakeology. We have a series of emails called the Shakeology Nurture System. It's available to all of you. And it's a series of 4 or 5 emails saying, hey, thanks for your order. Here's the best way to make your shake. How are you doing? And then the last email is a reminder that their shipment is coming up. And I think the easiest way to handle my own customer relations and provide great customer service is to schedule that stuff immediately. So if I go to Compose here and I have enabled Streak on my account, then I will get this little icon, looks like a piece of paper, I guess, and it's called snippets, right? So snippets are ways to save the same information. So just like I was explaining the Shakeology email, I'll show you. I have the Shakeology Nurture System. So I have message 1, thank you, and first education piece. So if you just ordered Shakeology from me today, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to send message 1. I'm going to put your name. Thank you for ordering. Here's a quick video, the ingredient hunter, sharing more about what's in that awesome bag of Shakeology, right? After I send that, I don't want to go about my day and then forget to send emails later, because we all do that. We get busy, right? And then something we think we're going to go back and do, we just forget about. And Streak allows you to not forget. So if I wanted to, so let's pretend I sent that. I could compose the next email immediately after I've just sent you your thank you email. I can go back into my snippets. I can find the second email in the series. Has it arrived? Right? And I can schedule that. So I know shipping usually takes about a week. So instead of hitting send, I can send this clock that is a send later button. Gives you a few generic options like 1 hour from now or a week from now, or I can click the calendar. So today is Tuesday the 15th. Let's say shipping takes 5 business days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to ask next Tuesday if it's arrived yet. So I can click on that. I can say what time I want it to go out and then send later. That puts this email into a queue. But it will send on its own. You don't have to remember to go back and do that. So within a couple of minutes, I can sit here and schedule the nurture system to the same person and not have to think about it later in the month, which is really cool. If I wanted to create a new snippet, the way you create a new snippet, like say you want to explain how to initiate a free trial of Beachbody on Demand, then I would write out my message here. I would write out what I want to say. And then I would go to the snippets tab and then make this draft a snippet. So this would be an email that I can turn into a snippet and label. Let's see, I'll show you. It would allow me to give the snippet a name and a shortcut code if I wanted to. The shortcut code would be like, do I want the snippet to go into the free customer lead tracking board or the new coach progress tracker? Like, where should this email go? Or you can create a new, a totally new subsection. So that's pretty cool. One of the things that you do run into with Streak, if you have any images or videos, they don't always transfer in, which is a bummer. And I'll show you what I mean real quick, just so you're aware. I'm gonna okay, so if I put in the snippet, which one has? Okay, so in case you've missed it, this is an email that typically has a photo right here embedded, right? But it doesn't actually show the photo in the email. It has this weird link instead. So what I do for anything with a photo within my snippets is I'll go back, I'll delete that, and then I'll just insert the right photo real quick. So you have, if there's a photo in there, they don't always transfer over. That's one quick caveat to Streak. Okay, so we've covered Streak and snippets. Now the other thing you can do within Gmail is a canned response, which is essentially the exact same thing as a snippet, Pictures do transfer better. Like if you embed a video or if you embed a photo or whatever, it will probably show up right away. You don't run into that. But other than that, they're essentially the same. So if I were to, first I would have to enable the canned response feature. So you do that by going to settings. I would go to my settings at the top here of my Gmail account. I would click on labs, this labs tab, and then canned responses, I would have to enable them. My kids are home. I'd have to enable canned responses right here. Okay, and that would allow me to do what I'm about to show you. So I'm gonna go back to my Gmail, and well, I'll go back to my inbox just so it doesn't confuse you. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my Gmail. Now I can use canned responses, and that is this drop-down arrow that will show up. Under more options, it will show you I have canned responses, and these are canned responses that I've made. So I have online bootcamp info, what is coaching, Beachbody on Demand, customers without Shakeology. I created an email for that. So I can create a discount invite. Let's just look at online bootcamp info. So the cool thing about our team is we give you a new canned response every month for whatever challenge is going on. So if I get someone on Instagram who's interested in a challenge, I can say, cool, what's your email? I'll send, or what's your email address? I'll send you some information. I can just quickly put in their email, add their name, and all of that's already there written up, explaining what a challenge group is, kind of what the cost to join is, and then some great transformation pictures, right? So I don't have to keep rewriting that same information, which is really important. If I wanted to create a new canned response, then getting a haircut, I would write out my email, whatever it is, and then I would say, click on my canned response button. Okay, you scroll to the bottom, and I'd say new canned response right here. Okay, so I would enter the name of it and create what I want to. So I could say, thank you for joining me. Like this could be an email, a generic email you send at the end of a challenge group to thank people for participating. So then I would write that and it would save. All right, so we've covered Streak and canned responses. You can use both. I do use both. I've kind of talked about what's beneficial and what the difference is. I would say that keeping that within Gmail is important. Having a Gmail address is important. And also, Streak runs best on Google Chrome. So Google likes Google products, obviously. So I found that Streak runs much better on Google Chrome, where I will run into problems if I'm on Safari or Internet Explorer. Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about, I can't believe that the last video didn't record. Okay, so let's talk about social media, right? And you're talking to people about a lot of things, or maybe you're not talking to people about a lot of things. Maybe you're just sharing your life on Instagram, right? Maybe on your Instagram wall, it's more lifestyle, like if you're into fashion or you're a mom, or you just really like preparing pretty food. That's the stuff you're sharing in your wall. But in your story, you're sharing your workout every morning and you're talking about your awesome life as a coach and like giving people little insights into your world as a coach, right? And so when somebody wants more information, it's cool to have one place that links all of your accounts. And Linktree is free and it does just that. So if you've ever seen a post on Instagram or on Facebook, like click link below or click link in bio, right? So on Instagram, you can only put one link in the bio. Well, what if you wanted a link to your free challenge group that anyone could join? And what if you wanted a link to share more of the coaching opportunity? You don't want to have to keep swapping out those links. So you can create a link tree, which allows you one link for everything. I'll show you that. I'm going to log in here. Okay, so Linktree is super simple to set up. It's free, like I said. This is showing you the view that people would see on their mobile device. So if they clicked my link in my bio on Instagram, or I shared this link on Facebook. This is what would show up for other people. So I have four links. I have Mighty Moms Clubhouse, which is my free group. I have Hiring Happy Fitness Lovers is what I titled it. This is this links to our ongoing Coach Girl Boss Glimpse page on Facebook. This is a link to a survey as a virtual fitness challenge right for me. And this is just a link to Facebook. I know other coaches use other links, and you can put what you think is important. As a new coach, you might just have, is an online challenge group right for me with a link to a survey on how to connect with you. I know that Joy has a link to her, a free trial of Beachbody On Demand. So she can tell people, hey, you want to sign up for your free workouts? You get a free trial. And then they could follow her link and set that up. So you can really decide what links are important to you to add them. It's really, really simple. With the free account, you're only allowed 5. So I'm going to delete this one just so I can show you. Delete. Okay. I think you're only allowed 5. Thanks. Okay, so add a new button or link. Say I wanted to try your free workout trial, right? This is going to link them to Beachbody On Demand. Then I would put the link to my coach link to the on-demand 2-week trial right here. And I would just turn this on, and that link would show here on the mobile device. So Linktree is super easy. Look closely, pay attention closely to the domain name. It's weird because you have linktr and then .ee, which is a little bit different. But you get to also decide what you want this bio link to say. So if your name is taken, you can do something else like Ashley.fitness or whatever. Okay, so I did mention that forms are a good idea, right? You want to collect information, especially if you're growing your market on Instagram and you don't really know everybody who's following you, and you want a way for them to get in touch or learn more. There is a free form builder called Wufoo. I have used one called Typeform, which is really cool because it kind of like clicks through some questions. I'll show it to you actually. So is a virtual fitness challenge right for me? Let's see, this is going to take me to my Typeform. So we'll just pretend I was on Instagram and I clicked on that because I saw that, oh, Ashley posts a lot about monthly boot camps. I want to see if one is right for me. So mine would say, this is Typeform. There's a short video from me, and then it says start. So start the form. What's your first name? Click OK. It clicks through the questions really fast in kind of a fun way, so I do like that about Typeform. The downfall of Typeform is that you have to go in and manually check to see if anyone's generated a response, and I forget to do that all the time. So I'm going to tell you that I think it's smart, since you're using Gmail for your email address and your Streak or canned responses, that you also use Google's Forms to do the same thing. I'm going to show you Wufoo real quick, just so you can get an idea of forms you could make or questions you could ask. I have the same as a virtual fitness challenge right for me on Wufoo. Wufoo allows you, I think, up to 5 free forms. So I was able to put a little explanation of the challenge. I asked their first and last name. What's a good email to send my reply? Do you currently own any home fitness programs? If yes, please list which ones. When it comes to achieving your desired health and fitness goals, what's the single biggest challenge? And what approaches have you tried in the past? So that's a very simple few questions, right? And we can provide more specific examples of our forms, or you can just click on them and steal the same questions. It doesn't really matter. You can select if you want it to be multiple choice. It's kind of in-depth. Wufoo is fairly easy to use. It's free. It's kind of in-depth. And if someone completes your Wufoo form, it will notify your email address, which is nice. So you'll know right away that somebody filled out the form. Now you can create the same type of survey through Google Forms. And once you have that Gmail address, you also have a Google Drive, which is a simple, essentially like everything. You can, it's like Word and Excel, but it's saved on a cloud. So I'll just show you real quick what Google Drive is. I have a folder that's challenge group materials, right? So when I click on that folder, I have all of my past boot camp posts, meal plans, all saved in here. They're already there. They're not in, I could access this from anywhere. I don't necessarily have to have my computer. So I really like that. So within Google Drive, we're not going to talk too much about that because it's not what this call is about. If I click New, click More, I can go to Google Forms. Okay, so you wouldn't normally see this. I opened a folder, so it's telling me that the form I'm creating is going in my challenge group folder, which I'll just say I'm okay with that, and we'll make it a challenge group form. So I could title this same form as a challenge group, right for me. Challenge group, right for me. We're going to ignore typos for the sake of time. I can put in a little blog, join my monthly bootcamp. I wouldn't actually say that. You would refine what you're talking about. But we're just going to, for the sake of time. Okay, so I could make a question. Have you ever participated in an online health and fitness challenge? We'll say I said that. I don't want to add maybe. So I could add yes or no. So it's multiple choice. They can choose yes or no. And then I can move on to the next question. Okay, so you can add, I can't remember how many questions. I think you can add quite a few questions. So like I would just click this plus button. I could ask another question. What's your email? What's the best way to contact you? Or if you were ending a challenge group, you could put a survey in there getting feedback. What did you think? Like, what would you like to see more of? Tell me about your progress. Tell me how many pounds you lost. Whatever. Like, the great thing about these forums is they're free, and you can collect information about your customers. And when you use a Google form, it will also notify you right to your email inbox. And you can do whatever works best for you. Personally, I just like the idea of keeping everything in the same place because it's organized, right? And it's easy for me to find. Okay. The last thing that I wanted to show you guys, we did everything. I'm trying to remember what we covered on the call so I don't miss anything. We looked at Canva, which is a great place to make beautiful images. And as a coach, you are going to make a lot of images. This saves a ton of time. So Canva can be, it's both an app on your phone and it's a desktop. You can go to canva.com, totally free. I much prefer the desktop because you're limited with what you can do on the app. And this is really quick for me. So say this was my example from the team call. Okay, say I had a new coach join my team and I wanted to give her a great welcome post. Well, I could click this social media. I'm going to make a social media type of image. And I might just scroll to find something that I like. Okay, so I like that font. That's kind of cool. But I don't know who that girl is. I'm going to welcome Caitlin. So you can upload any image to Canva, and it saves it in a Canva library. Like I got To Be Mindsets, a logo that's right there. I have our team logo. I have some pictures of my teammates for recognition. They all save right there. You get it. So if I want to welcome Caitlin, I'm going to put her picture back here because I don't know who that girl is. And then I might just move this and it would say, welcome Caitlin to Grit and Grace, right? I can edit this and just make a super fun image super fast. You can also start with a blank image. If you use Instagram a lot and you want your image to fit in the story, if you click on more, this Pinterest graphic one right here, you create a graphic with the Pinterest graphic. This is the perfect size to also fit in your Instagram story. One cool place that you can also get pictures from is a website called Unsplash. So if I go to unsplash.com, it gives me beautiful high resolution images that are not copyrighted, so I can save any of them and use them on social media. So say I wanted to, do a quick post about the 3 best my 3 best tips for a successful morning breakfast or a healthy morning breakfast, whatever. I could just type in healthy breakfast, and this is going to pull up a bunch of pictures that are probably prettier than what I could create at home, or maybe I'm sharing an oatmeal recipe, so I can select this bowl of oatmeal and say, here's my favorite oatmeal recipe, or whatever. You wanted to create a banner for your challenge, and your challenge was, I don't know, yoga for runners using Beachbody On Demand. I could look for a runner's image and, you know, take one of these to make a cool graphic or a cool cover photo. I do suggest not putting other people's faces that aren't yours, like this girl right here. It's a cool picture, but if she's not you and nobody knows who she is, don't use it. It's just, it's not as personal. I would use like things that are at a distance. Like you can't tell who any of those people are. I love this image, anything like that. But it like a full-on face shot that looks like it's a model posing and it's not you. I just personally wouldn't use it. Okay, so that's Unsplash. If I go back to Canva really quick, what's cool is you can duplicate the same image. So say you're making you're doing a 14-day challenge. We just did this with the Bounce Back Moms Club. These are some images I've made. Ooh, what was a recent challenge I did? So all of these save too, you can tell. So like if I wanted to quickly swap this out because I like the format, I can go and edit this image, change the name and change the picture. So, okay, going back though. All right, 14-day challenge. You wanna make your own content for your own challenge group because you want to be original or whatever, and you don't want to spend a ton of time. Once you've created one graphic that you like, you can duplicate it. And I'll show you what I mean. There's so many tabs open. So, say I liked this theme, I could just click this duplicate button. It's going to give me an image the same way, and I could just say day 2 and write my information for day 2. So it's already formatted. And you can see I did that here. I duplicated images because I wanted one that was generic for the team and just hashtag Bounce Back Moms. Bounce. I don't know who added that. Sorry. And then I had one with my Fit Mom Next Door logo. Okay. So that's Canva. What else do I need to tell you? Okay. I think that's everything. Some good apps that you can use on your phone for photo editing. Our favorites are Snapseed, definitely Aviary, A-V-I-A-R-Y. I really like WordSwag. You can either put cool text over your own image or just create a quick image in WordSwag. All of those are free. You can pay $1 to remove the watermark. So, for example, if you've ever used Photofy and you created a cool collage or picture, it always says Photofy in the bottom corner. I think that's kind of tacky. I like to take it off. You only have to pay $1 once. So it's not per image. You pay the $1 and then that watermark is removed forever, which is pretty cool. For movies, if you want to do quick movies on your social media, iMovie is really good if you have an iPhone. It does take a little bit of practice, but like anything else, once you've done it a few times, you get faster. I really love HypeType, both for Instagram stories. It is for Instagram stories. You can do a 15-second video and put music or text over it. The icon looks like this. You probably can't see it very well, but HypeType. And I will often save the HypeType video from my Instagram story and use it on Facebook. And the reason is I like that it keeps you to 15 seconds. Just today I said to my brother, or he said, Ashley, I want you to watch this video. And I said, how long is it? And he said 2 minutes. And I was like, I don't want to watch that. Like people have no attention span anymore, right? They don't want to watch a long video. So if you can do just something quick and fun that's 15 seconds or less, people are more likely to view it. And the other thing we talked about was just like social media do's and don'ts. A quick tip is to always share you. I think coaches, when they start coaching, they kind of get trapped in this mindset that somehow every post say craft needs to point back to coaching or be an invite to a challenge group. But it really doesn't. You guys need to share who you are all the time, and it doesn't necessarily always have to be related to your coaching journey or your fitness journey. Some of the best posts in terms of traction that I've gotten are just funny memes that I've reshared. Like if you see something and you like it and you chuckle or you think it's interesting, probably the people in your tribe will too. So don't be afraid to share great content that is not just about coaching. It's more about your kids or something else that you're interested in. I think like maybe 2 or 3 out of 10 posts could point back to your boot camp or back to a coach invite or back to your fitness journey. But the rest should really be like what you would normally post about. And then on Instagram, it's really good that your Instagram wall, we talked about being lifestyle, but putting your coaching related stuff in your story. If you're not using stories, get on that story bus because that's super important. Okay, I think that's it. I can't believe I had to refilm that, but I think that will be helpful, and you can always reach out with any questions that you have.